The game should deliver on that promise. It should be the ultimate experience where you actually go to Pandora and where you can live an alternative life on the moon.
We are working side by side with Lightstorm to create a game based on the world of Avatar.
With the power of Massive's Snowdrop game engine and the team's passion and obsessive focus on detail, we know they're the right group to bring the beauty and danger of Pandora to life.
It's a mesmerizing world that you want to visit and see with your own eyes. To now be able to recreate that in a computer game is a fantastic, humbling experience.
The excitement is enormous, and it fits very well with many of the things we are interested in. Ecology, sustainability, fighting for what you believe in. A lot of interesting values that really resonate well with the team. Our ambition is always to make the best games in the world. In this case, I think we have a unique opportunity to do something that is very, very rare.
Every player gets to choose how they want to experience this incredible universe.
We're about to embark on an amazing adventure. The insane attention to detail is one of the key things that made Pandora feel so real. When we're done, everybody will get to experience the beautiful world of Pandora.
But one of the things I really like about this game is it's, you know, we see a lot of open world games out there. It's certainly like a popular genre, but this one, the feel of it is different. It feels more improvisational, I think is the word I'm going for.
Absolutely. Our crafting system, I mean, it's really inspired by, you know, kind of the do-it-yourself mentality where, you know, we all feel thrilled when we make a repair to our car or our house with duct tape and a couple of loose screws, and we feel really good about it. That's Deacon. You know, he's making use of everything he can find in the environment, and they have to scavenge and search for things and employ them in really clever ways.
And he has to do it.
He has to do it to survive.
So like you see right here, this is the same clothesline that Deacon ran into, and in this demo, the runners aren't chasing him, so basically he has the opportunity to see the ambush before it happens, goes around it, comes up behind them, and takes those guys out from behind.
Right.
So, you know, that's, you know, to your point.
And then he strangles them with their own clothesline, too.
Yeah, exactly.
So he makes use of the whole buffalo in this
And it's
game.
a dynamic event. That can happen. You can be out in the world doing a job or a mission, and then suddenly you've got marauders that are ambushing you on the highway, and it's a dynamic event. There's no way to predict when it's going to happen. You just got to pay attention.
Well, is there more than just like a clothesline in the middle? Do they find more ways to ambush you?
Yeah,
it's a dangerous world, and it's something where you know the horde is dangerous, freakers are dangerous, but so too are humans because they're cunning and clever, and they too are using everything they can find to employ against their enemies. And let's just say clothesline is one of many things. We'll get into it at a later date.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit about, maybe a little bit of the backstory about why these freakers are being hung up like this. Is that like a defense mechanism? Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so what they do is we call it the meat wall. And what they'll do is, like in this case, they have a bear trap under this dead freaker corpse. And what they'll do is they'll put a trap under it, and then those other freakers are attracted to the meat.
Oh.
They're all hungry all the time. That's what happens, evidently, if you become a freaker. But they hang up the meat walls again. It's kind of like a wall to protect the encampment. So you can always tell when you're coming close to a marauder camp because you'll run into these kinds of traps.
Yeah, they had all kinds of defenses too. I mean, the first thing Deacon did was trip over that little thing in the tin cans, and that's what drew the first guy out, which is why he'd think on his toes, scramble for a bush, and then wait, and then kill the guy when he came by.
Right.
And again, in the alternate path that we're showing, it's something where if the players are thoughtful and if they take time, they don't just rush into things, they're going to be able to employ a different analysis of the terrain. They're going to be able to look for these things and see them. And that's how he sees a clothesline. And when the players are careful and cautious and assume the world's dangerous, they can turn the tables on the bad guys using the same tools that they're using against the player against them.
Yeah, so like what you're seeing now is part of the alternate path. Changed up the time of day, changed up the weather.
Okay,
now,
I was going to say, I didn't remember this from the show.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because it's colder now, more freakers are coming out, so freakers are stronger when it's cold out. So you really got to be careful when it's snowing. Also, the bike handles differently. It's like if you'd seen the earlier part when Deacon's trying to ride his bike through the snow, it's very, very different.
Oh, this is really cool. I didn't realize. Interesting. So here's your meat wall, right? The meat wall there.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty smart move, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at this, a beautiful looking game too. And I know you guys are digging into the PS4 Pro.
Freelancer.
Fraxley.
Listen, there's trouble. Big trouble.
What did you do?
I made a mistake. I hired some people. They weren't freelancers. I know. They said they could handle it, and the price was right. I thought maybe...
Unbelievable.
You're right. It was stupid. I'm sorry. But they're still out there. Somewhere. If you could just bring them back. Anything you need.
I'll get to it tomorrow. All right.
In the world of Anthem, you and your friends are freelancers, the heroes who leave the safety of the walls of Fort Tarsus to explore the unknown and protect humanity. Let's join two players as they head out on an expedition.
Hey, Paul. You ready to go?
We're just grabbing some supplies, just about ready.
What are you going to use today?
I decided to go with the Colossus.
I'm going to use my Ranger. Try out some new upgrades.
Every player will own an array of exosuits we call Javelins. These suits give players superhuman capabilities and are heavily customizable so they look and play how you want.
Bam. Looking good. Nice. You've got a mortar equipped.
Yeah, I got it on the weekend. You lead the way, I'll follow.
This is a vast open world you explore with your friends. Each Javelin exosuit has its own unique playstyle. The Ranger is balanced and all-purpose, while the Colossus is a tanking powerhouse.
All right. Let's see what's up here.
The world of Anthem is hostile, and threats can come from any direction. It's a dynamic world where the unexpected is around every corner.
I'm not sure we want to use all our supplies on this guy.
Yeah, he seems like a problem for another day.
We're getting some fire from up ahead.
I'll go low. You flank.
the same mechanics. So that was one of the big features we wanted to make sure that we had before showing the game to the public, to everybody, so that we wanted to make sure that the technology was working and this big ambitious game was feasible. I'm going back to my spaceship. I want just to show you some gameplay ingredients. I'm going to change a little bit the time so that we have a bit more sun. Yeah. So that spaceship is very, very nice. It's very close to the Beluga we had in Beyond Good and Evil 1. It can handle very large speed, but it's also very easy to do loopings and trigger very fast movements. So it's a dogfighter. I can increase the speed. So this is a classic plane speed we have on Earth. We are about 1,000 kilometers per hour. But you can increase that speed dramatically, like this, for example, and you will see it. So the speed is increasing now. You see that it's about 5,000 kilometers per hour. Let's go back in the city so that we can really understand the speed, and I can increase the speed again. Whoa. Use some tricks, movements, and then we are going to do a looping, for example. So you can combine anything, any movements, and the very nice thing too is that you can even increase the speed to 20,000 kilometers per hour, which is a lot. I'm going to try, to drift like that. So at any time you have the drifting mode, you have all these very interesting movements. But of course, the biggest things you want to do in this kind of situation is to go in space. So let's trigger higher speed. And you see this little effect around the spaceship is because of the friction of the atmosphere. If I don't increase my speed, there is no reason to have more friction. But if I'm increasing the speed, you will see that the effect is stronger. And same thing if I'm going very, very fast. So depending on the quantity of atmosphere, you can have a stronger effect. Until you start burning. But you see, with those very high speed, you can really travel very, very far and very fast. Just changing the time of the simulation so that we can appreciate the wonderful view in space. So if I decide to go on this planet or the satellite, which is somewhere around there, I can go there seamlessly. And the further you are of the planet, the faster you can go because there's no more atmosphere, so no more friction. So here I still have a little friction. But of course you can go back onto the planet whenever you want. A very interesting thing too is that there's a lot of biomes on the planet, like this desert, or you have frozen lands on the planet.
They are nested with sin. Free them, that they may know my... Yara! Where is the other apostate? Clip her wings.
Street Race Challenge. Street racing is at the core of the crew DNA and one of the many disciplines of the Crew 2. But this time we're shifting from underground street racing to bring you a more accessible, festive and competitive take on the genre. Speaking of which, this race is about to get a little spiced up. How would you like to take this party to the rooftops? That was just a small example of the way we've redesigned the US cities to offer you more freedom for spontaneous challenges. In the Crew 2, your whole environment has been shaped and tweaked so that you can enjoy the very best experience, whatever the vehicle or the discipline. But before I tell you any more, I think Live Sportscast has something to tell you.
And now, life goes to the extreme!